The crystal clear waters are clouded with sockeye salmon, bottlenecked at the mouth of a creek. The fish are the last wave migrating the 160 kilometers back to their birthplace after spending years in the Pacific Ocean. They're struggling to make it through the last 5 kilometers in time to spawn before they die. The once silvery fish are now dressed to impress in vivid crimson, as red pigments in their flesh transfer to their skin. The males have grown humped backs and jutting jaws of long, sharp teeth. Not far from the lake, a shallow stretch halts their progress, with barely enough water to swim through. This male, called a buck, refuses to give up. He powers through. Exhausted, he makes it to the spawning grounds, where he joins a throng of other bucks, all waiting for the females, called hens. They're not far behind. Like all migrating salmon, this one hasn't eaten since she left the ocean. Her stomach has shrunk to make room for thousands of eggs. She looks for a nest site with enough water flow to keep her eggs oxygenated. She immediately attracts some male groupies, all vying to be her mate. Fights erupt as they try to stand out from the crowd. A dominant male wins her over. The hen makes the first move, digging a shallow nest. Together, they release their eggs and sperm. Their union creates about 1,000 fertilized eggs. But over 80% will be lost before hatching. Some will end up a nutritious meal for birds and other fish. Many will fall victim to the cold. The pair moves a meter upstream to repeat the performance up to 5 times. As the hen digs a new nest, she covers the previous one with a protective layer of sand. Once the last of her eggs is laid, she guards her buried treasure from intruders. But she can't stand sentinel for long. Within a few days, the salmon's incredible journey comes to an end. Many salmon will die without ever finding a mate. But their deaths are not in vain. Nutrients from their bodies will be recycled, enriching the stream beds and supporting the next generation when it hatches in winter. Eventually, these tiny descendants will make the long migration downstream to the Pacific Ocean, repeating the life cycle of the sockeye salmon once more. As autumn starts to sweep south, it paints the landscape in vibrant hues. But in a country that stretches from the tundra to the tropics, there are many shades to the season. Bleak and moody high in the peaks, bursting with color in the west, wild and stormy on the coast, slow and subtle in the south. Late September in the subtropics remains hot and humid. It's still climbing past 26 degrees Celsius along the South Carolina coast. But that kind of heat is perfect for raising a family. For an American alligator. Back in July, this female buried a clutch of 30 eggs in a mound she built of sticks, leaves, and mud. The decaying vegetation boosts the temperature inside the nest even further while her eggs incubate. Her young are already making an entrance. Often, the mother will help dig out the newborns. But this bunch manages to get out on its own. They're apex predators in the making, but right now, they're at risk of being hunted themselves. Their black and yellow bodies blend into the grass, hiding them from predatory eyes. Even other alligators. As the newborns grow and rise up the food chain, the bands of yellow will fade. The hatchlings instinctively head for safety. And that means mom. The season is already peaking in the higher latitudes and elevations, such as the Green Mountains of Vermont. But the beauty is bittersweet. Leaves that were once lush and green are dying. Deciduous trees stop making chlorophyll, the green pigment that colors their leaves. As it fades away, other pigments reveal themselves. The yellows and oranges that define the season are always there, hidden behind a mask of green. Before the trees power down for winter, they go out in a blaze of glory. Golden larch in the Pacific Northwest. A mosaic of aspen, birch, and oak in Utah. And the flaming maple trees of New England. There's another hunter roaming the woods this morning. This female opossum has been out all night, filling her belly with grubs and worms. Autumn is the time to fatten up. The first snow will fly within the next couple of months. Food will be much harder to come by. She's so focused on finding grubs, she runs right into the copperhead family. Facing off with the snake is enough to send other animals running for their lives, but not the opossum. She's immune to the venom and has made a meal out of copperheads in the past. But a viper's bite is excruciating. She wisely takes a pass. Grubs are just as tasty, and they don't fight back. For the last 2 babies of the brood, sticking close to mom has paid off. Time to make tracks. Soon, she'll migrate to a winter den, leaving a scent trail for her young to follow. Together, they'll hibernate along with other species of snakes until spring's warmth lures them back into daylight. In Grand Teton National Park, a golden ribbon of aspen lines the banks of a tributary of the Snake River. Here in the Rocky Mountains, nearly 2 kilometers above sea level, the change of seasons hits hard and fast. It's mid-October. A long, brutal winter is just around the corner, and the food supply is quickly dwindling at this high elevation. In the backwaters, a beaver rushes to save his home pond. An early season deluge took out a critical section of his dam. Everything from food storage to safety starts with a strong dam, so this gets priority. The male gets to work gathering rocks to reinforce the foundation. He can haul his own weight in building supplies, which is nearly 30 kilograms for this burly builder. With no time to waste, his mate takes the topside shift, shoring the breach with branches, cementing them into place with river mud. They've patched the dam, but now their pantry needs stocking, with aspen, cottonwoods, and willows. Beavers don't just build with branches. They eat the soft tissue under the bark. They stuff them into an underwater cache, shoving the ends into mud to hold them in place. Submerged in cold water, the branches will stay fresh. They'll need to pull some all-nighters to fill up the pantry in time. So until the wetlands freeze over, these beavers will have to work their tails off. As autumn marches on, the northern hemisphere tilts further from the sun's light and warmth. In the late October skies over northeastern Iowa, it's rush hour for hundreds of species of birds escaping the north. They're cruising the Mississippi Flyway, chasing the promise of a winter feast to the south. River valleys are often the highways of choice for long-distance flyers. And no thoroughfare is greater than the mighty Mississippi. Its course draws the map for a migratory artery that follows the path of the river from Minnesota all the way to the Gulf of Mexico. Here in the Iowa backwaters, the tired and hungry travelers pull in for a pit stop. For the American white pelican and the Canada goose, the long summer days are far behind them when they gorged in the wetlands of Alaska and Canada. Flocks of tundra swans arrive from the Arctic, just partway through their 10-week journey to the eastern seaboard. American coots touch down on their way to Mexico, resting up while they fill up on pondweed. But not all of the birds are here for some R&R. A bald eagle, one of the largest birds of prey in North America, swoops in for supper. Normally, eagles prefer fish, but at this time of the year, the surplus of waterfowl is too good to pass up. Some of these eagles stay in Iowa year-round. Others are passing through on their own migration south, but all of them know to converge on this seasonal gathering of prey. There's a new face in the crowd this year. A 2-year-old female from Minnesota, still sporting her juvenile plumage. Young eagles tend to travel aimlessly for the first 4 years of their lives before setting on a specific migration route. She's likely flown hundreds of kilometers today in search of a meal. But the ducks easily avoid the rookie hunter. The only thing she's catching is the attention of the seasoned adults, who aren't keen to share the feast. But driven by hunger, the Minnesota greenhorn keeps her eye on the prize. Like all bald eagles, she doesn't care if her next meal is dead or alive. She spots the remains of a coot floating at the surface. It's an easy meal. But when another juvenile challenges her, she loses her nerve. Now that it's up for grabs, it turns into a free-for-all for adults and youngsters alike. Another fumble, and the meal is grounded. In a season where every calorie counts, the coot is worth the battle. a victor finally emerges. It's the Minnesota juvenile who's reclaimed her prize. In a month or so, this migratory pit stop will start to freeze over. The advancing ice will force the waterfowl to push on south. And they'll have some unwelcome company along the way.